Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Johnny's Bite.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday, the 14th of July. In 2 days, maybe three days, 17th of July, Dr. Bano at Hefrra should not be in office, because that is when he's supposed to officially go on retirement. In fact, he should have gone on a leave prior to retirement, but he's not going because he's copying the bad example of Dr. Benedict Aligibam. And guess what? Brian Echampo is interested in buying 4 of our hotels. Well, now he says he's no longer interested. And he says he will give somebody a showdown. I'm paraphrasing. We'll play on the political turf. Aligibam is his subordinate. He wrote a letter with his PhD attached. Aligibam has said that he won't go anywhere. No, you can't do FOCO to me. He is not focusing on his work. But we didn't call a Juma home, Mr. Echampo. Focus on your work. Focus. The army that you joined out there in the US, when they say military is forming and they are doing whatever they are doing, there's order. How do you come to a ministerial position and hoping to take ex gratia after you're finished, and you cannot control Aligibam? How? How? Should we take you serious? How? You want to play on a political turf and you have not finished the work that you are supposed to do? Go and play, let's see you. 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 Now, give me that Nkrumah quote, please.
Johnny's Bite.
A quote from Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He says, Ghanaians are not timid people, as has been suggested in the foreign press. Ghanaians are not timid people, as have been suggested in the foreign press. Far from it. That's what Dr. Kwame Nkrumah says. Far from it. They may be slow to anger and may take time to organize and act. But once they are ready and they strike, and strike hard, it pays no one to tamper with the Ghanaian freedom and dignity. Osajifu Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Nkrumah never dies. Nkrumah, who cannot be compared to any other person. Nkrumah, who cannot be compared to any other person. It says Ghanaians are not timid people, as has been suggested in the foreign press. For far from it, they may be slow to anger and may take time to organize and act. But once they are ready, they strike and strike hard. It pays no one to tamper with the Ghanaian freedom and dignity. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Osajifo, one who cannot be compared to any other person. Nobody can compare to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Let it sink in.
Bite.
Now, play Dr. Baumia's video asking for a debate for me. Play his video.
Looking forward.
Johnny's Bite.
I am looking forward to a debate with John Mahama on the economy, on the country, on the governance. But I'm afraid that he's running away from a debate. Isn't it? His people say he doesn't want to debate. But he doesn't want to debate because he knows I'll expose the emptiness of his policies. He says he has a 24-hour economy that he cannot explain. It's as empty as an empty barrel. He cannot explain it. None of his people can explain it. They say they will be exporting lions and elephants. But when we meet mano a mano, we can debate, and the country will see where our policies lie. And that is where we should go. We should give the country an opportunity to listen to us. But if he chooses not to debate, I will continue to sell my policies to the people of Ghana, and you will take the decision.
Johnny's Bite.
That's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, our vice president, who doesn't talk about the economy anymore. He talks only digitalization. On his website, he says that he is the forerunner of our economic conversation. He doesn't talk about the economy anymore. When you talk about exchange rate, he doesn't want to respond. When you talk about CD depreciation, he doesn't want to respond. When you talk about inflation, he doesn't respond. When you talk about the cost of living, when you talk about how much food costs at the market, he doesn't respond to anything. If you bring one teacher one laptop, he will talk about it. If you bring Wi-Fi lunch for students, he will talk about it. If you talk anything digitalization, he's the first to respond to it. But when you talk about the economy, which is his mainstay, which Nanado said that Dr. Bawumia is being brought in because he worked at the Bank of Ghana. He knows where the money is. And he told us that he will not borrow. Because yet his castle, or the money is there. No, we don't have to borrow. We just have to toll the roads. And his vice president, Amakwata, came and cancelled road tolls without proper official channels, no cabinet approval, no parliamentary approval. He's still working. He's a lawyer. He's still working there. Hurry up. They are constructed more. They're still working there. A group of lawless people have come to be in charge of our... Kwekwaji Mamendu. He bought Sputnik V vaccines and even got Chobo at the back. Yes. He got Chobo at the end of that. Look, find me our senior Kweku Baku's video on debate. Play for me.
Yes.
Just a short one. The Kwame referred to some call for debate in Yadama. Kwame, Maman can be being sure. The surest way to kill the prospect of a serious presidential debate is for one of the contenders to go out there and issue Takashia ne Patapa calls for debate in the public space, at mini rallies, on social media.
And not
It's the surest way to kill the prospect of any meaningful, serious presidential debate. You don't go out there in the public space, at mini rallies, on social media, and issue challenges. Takashi Patapa type of challenges to your opponents to come for a debate. You have killed that whole prospect. No debate.
No, you have to play that again. Play it again. Play that video again.
Just a short one. Muda Kwame referred to some call for debate in Yadama. Kwame, Maman can be being sure. The surest way to kill the prospect of a serious presidential debate is for one of the contenders to go out there and issue Takashia ne Patapa calls for debate in the public space, at mini rallies, on social media.
And not
the surest way to kill the prospect of any meaningful, serious presidential debate. You don't go out there in the public space, at mini rallies, on social media, and issue challenges. Takashi Patapa type of challenges to your opponents to come for a debate. You have killed that whole prospect. No debate. Case closed.
Kweku Baku Abdul Malik, our senior, he was speaking then when John Mahama challenged the debate. It was true then, it is true now. Dr. Bawumia, this is your cue. Are you trying to kill the prospect of the debate? Or are you trying to call for a debate? What are you trying to do? This is what Senior Abdul Malik Kweku Baku said. It was true then, it was true now. The people in the studio, they laughed. Kwame Sefa, and other panelists, they were all happy about it, what you said. So I just had to play it back twice to Dr. Bawumia to listen. That he is calling for a debate. Is it Patapa, Takashi, how you described it? Is it what it is? I don't know. I just had to play back the video because now, was that a mini rally? Was that on social media? Was that on all the things that you put there, the metrics that you measured again? Was that it? I don't know. I'm only playing back your video and what Dr. Bawumia says. And if Dr. Bawumia is minded and he has a team that is minded, they would play the video to him and advise him accordingly. I said, Dr. Bawumia doesn't talk about the economy anymore. Find me the Yoko letter. There's Dr. Bano in the mix. In 4 days, it should be gone. This is a restricted letter that is written by Iyoko. And it is based on what we put out there on Johnnie's Bite, right? Last week we put it out on Johnnie's Bite, and we put out a conversation about the what do you call the signatories and people who have been giving queries for not going to work and earning salary, blah blah blah. Well, Yoko has written, "One eye day everywhere. We they watch everything. I got our eyes on you, and I'll continue digging." This is the 9th of July, 2024. I said this week, I will show you hospitals and clinics that do not have the requisite requirement to be authorized by Hefrra to operate. And yet, under Dr. Bano, they have been given. That is why Dr. Bano must not stay a day in office after his retirement on the 17th of July. Read the letter together. There's a telephone number there. It's there. It's a security letter. You can call the telephone number and verify. We didn't put this together. It is from official channels. And we have our eyes everywhere. To the regional director, Hefrra, Kumasi, dear sir, request for information pursuant to section 19 of Yoko Act 804, 2010. The officer is investigation. This officer is investigating into alleged unearned salary involving some members of staff in your institution. Yoko, if they don't give you the documents, I will give it to you myself. Because I have it all. I'll give you, I'll dash you. If they restrict, because Hefrra has a penchant of not giving documents. At least, Fourth Estate is an example. RTI Commission to slap a 30,000 fine on them, and they had to pay, causing financial loss to the state. If they don't give you, I will give you myself. In view of the above, you are restricted to submit the regional director to the regional director of Economic and Organized Crime, the representative of the executive director at the regional office located at Bungalow 6, Royal Palm Avenue, opposite the Rattray Park, Gate 4 in Shaeso, Kumasi, Thursday, 11th July 2024 at 10 a.m. The following documents to assist with investigations. 1. Attendance books from 2017 to date, and I showed you a full year attendance book. 2. Monthly returns to head office of the same period above. 3. Staff list of the same period above. 4. Validation report for the same period above. 5. Any other relevant document signed by Frank Nuchwako. He's the regional director for executive director. Thank you, Soso. Bano, Sapepepe.
Johnnie's
Yoko
Bite.
has written now to Hefrra in the Ashanti region. We started that conversation, and I say, this is my award. As for the award, we have plenty. This is our award.
Johnnie's Bite.
The thing is sweet. It's so sweet. Dr. Bano doesn't have to stay in office one day more. We cannot afford to have another Aligibam on our hands. And Dr. Bernard Okoboy, I want to say good morning to you. Brian Champon has lost guard. He's watching. He's lost his guard. He's watching. And Aligibam is still at post. Aligibam will soon visit SNIT again to go and check on his pension. I told you when he went there and what he went to check. When he steps foot into the SNIT office again in Boga, we will trace him and track him and we'll tell you what he went to do there. So he knows that he's doing the wrong thing, but he is continuing to do the wrong thing because he knows that his authorities, those who are principals over him, have no balls of steel. Oh yes, they are interested in buying our hotels. They have no balls of steel. Today, the labor unions are on strike. Just be projecting their press releases for me. They are on strike. Did they have to get to the point where the labor unions had to go on strike? Did they have to get there? CLOSAG is on strike. UTAG is crying. Everybody's crying. And the conversation is that don't sell the hotels. It's simple. Do not sell the hotels. Keep your hands off the hotels. If Nanado believes that Brian Champon is well qualified indeed to manage the hotels, and must it always go into private hands? Today, you are going to cost people. Somebody traveled. Osman traveled from Tamale, came to Accra. He was looking for a document from the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. That day, the people were on strike. He flew in, flew back out, and the people were there. They couldn't give him the document because the people were not at work. They were home. Do you know how many people you would have put in a tight fix because of your stubbornness? And this whole conversation about SNIT and the hotels, the board chairman, Elizabeth Ohini, and the board members, the management, Kofi Osafo-Maafo, and the top hierarchy, they should all be sacked today. They should all be sacked. They don't deserve to be there. I remember so well, when we were at GIG, they used to bring them to GIG. They used to come and give us talk and pep talk and whatever it is. They used to tell us stories. And then when I was young, I was taken to Gonda Barracks. I went to kneel down. All the Kwekubakus, the Kwesi Prats, all of them, they used to bring them to our school to come and talk to us. They used to tell us stories and things that they were taken to Gonda Barracks. They were locked up here. There was no evidential proof. We believe them. Today we are showing letters. I just showed you a letter from Yoko. We are showing letters, videos, and audio. They say the standards of journalism has dropped. How do you put the two together? People who told us, the evidence, but letter from official channels, they say what we are saying is wrong. How do you put the two together? How? Now credibility is being questioned. Dubai Center is gone. It's not going, it's gone. Dubai Center. Now you can see the agenda to wipe up Nkrumah's legacy. It's gone. When you talk about Pan-Africanism in Ghana, right? The Padmore Library, Dubai Center, those are the main landmarks. Read. The memorial site and compound will function as a campus of remembrance, reflection, and learning. Now speak to the life and legacy of Dr. Du Bois. Ajay Associates redesigned the Du Bois Center, aims to provide a world-class destination for academics, blah, blah, blah. Do you remember the Ajay? David Ajay is the one who has dug the biggest hole at National Cathedral that Nanado promised God, and he has scammed him. Nanado, he promised God that he was going to build a cathedral for him if he gives him a second term. His second term is ending in 4 or 5 months. He has scammed God. Why can't he scam you?
Johnny's fight.
I'm not the one saying it all. I'm saying he promised God that if you give me a second term, I will build a cathedral for you. God said you take your second term. He collected a second term. He has scammed God. Why can't he scam you? Tell me. Nanado has scammed God. Why can't he scam you? Why can't Nanado scam you? He has scammed God. He said, has he built the cathedral? It's the biggest hole. He said, we will not use state resources for it. Lie. We use state resources for it. He said, even the state will not contribute. It will be private, blah, blah, blah. Lie. To the point where he had priests and pastors and senior priests in this country. They left the board and they wrote a missive. Archbishop Dagheward Mills, Archbishop Isudanaba, they wrote. The rest are stuck in their shame. They can't move away. And they have embarrassed the whole flock that followed them. They are stuck in their shame. They can't move. The shame is too much. They can't move. Put the letter up there.
Johnny's fight.
And Nanado has written now. Oh, boss. If Nanado had not become president, we would have all thought that this is the president that Ghana wished that we had, that we never got. Now, with the benefit of power, we have seen the nyang that Nanado has done. I said, Nanado has scammed God. Why can't he scam you? Ken Oforiatta was in Parliament to announce to us in one of the budget readings that the cathedral will be commissioned on a certain date. That date has come and gone. Office of the President, 6th May 2024. And know that the press secretary is now what? No, so the press secretary is signing this one. The press secretary is now your ambassador at large, right? And some say that he's ambassador at large for good reason. Because things have to be kept outside. Yes, things have to be kept outside. Somebody said it. Request for President Akufo-Addo to cut sword on the 27th of August, 2024. With reference to your correspondence dated the 22nd of April, 2024, bearing on the above subject matter, I'd like to inform you that the President of the Republic will be available to participate in the sword cutting ceremony for the renovation of the Dubois bungalow on Tuesday, 27th of August 2024. In light of the above, it will be appreciated if a program outline of activities could be forwarded to the Office of the President for consideration. Please accept the President's best wishes to Mr. Daniel Rose, Chairman Board of the Dubois Museum Foundation, Accra. Everyday foundation, everyday Dubois Center is gone. And I've showed you too many lands in this place. There's a parliamentary document.
Johnny's
Dr. Matthew
right.
Poku Pempe is quoted in there. It's the Hansa. There's a vetting of some minister for chieftaincy and what do you call it? Something. In that thing, Dr. Matthew Poku Pempe made a statement.
Johnny's right.
Connecting to the fact that lands belonging to the Ga people or the Ga people, right? Are being reverted to them, and that even the house was favoring Ga.
Johnny's
This is
right.
the full document. Now, let's go to Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe.
Johnny's right.
He said, I have a simple question. I'm reading from the left side. I have a simple question. Mr. Chairman, the government has done a very good thing by releasing lands that are not being utilized back to the chiefs, and I think it is going to be a very good source of income. But in law, equity and fairness should be at the back of our minds when we are doing some of these things. Apart from the lands, when you go to the eastern, central, western, Adanse, Ashanti, Brong-Ahafo, and northern regions, all those chiefs there, their lands are either vested or being administered by or held in trust for the government, for the people. When you are going to use your position to make, when are you going to use your position to make sure that these chiefs get back their lands so they can also earn some income? I think it stands now, we are only favoring the chiefs. Now, Paul, good morning to you. You made a very wise statement when you were in opposition. Today, the government of which you are part, of which you were a cabinet minister, they take lands, they share it like chips at funerals and parties. You take lands. There's two heads will write with a red pen that keep off, this is Osu land, keep off, this is La land, keep off, this is Nwa land. And then you still go ahead and give it to private people. And the explanation is that you are doing public-private partnership. If you win the elections, you'll be a vice president. I will hold you to these words that you spoke
Johnny's
before
right.
2013. You asked the minister a very sensible question. Are you able to ask Nanado that sensible question today? The lands that belong to the people are supposed to be vested in the chiefs and the authority of the local tradition. When you do not have use for the lands again, the lands at Afrikiko, the lands, parks and gardens, then all those lands, when you do not have the original use for which you intended for those lands, when you finish and you take those lands, do you give it back to the allodial owners, the chiefs, or do you keep it and give it to your cronies and allies? I'm asking you a simple question. You said that the chiefs were being favored. Favoritism had come into the conversation. Today, can you say the same for Galants? You are grabbing the lands. You are grabbing the lands with greed and selfishness. There's a letter from the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. That's our last letter.
Right.
Following the successful execution of agreements between the government of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, and the W.E. Du Bois Museum Foundation, Ghana, the incorporation of the special purpose vehicle for the finance and management of W. Du Bois Center in Accra and the partial fulfillment of the conditions precedent to effectiveness of the agreement, we wish to request the Du Bois Center, Du Bois Foundation, Ghana, to furnish the Ministry of Arts and Culture with further documentation to facilitate our decision on to timely hand over the asset to you. Nikraka say, Du Bois Center is gone. It's gone. It's not Dubois Foundation. When they change the name like that, it's gone. I said, Nanado has scammed God. Why can he not scam you?
Johnny's right.
Ask yourself that question today. He told God, God, give me a second term. I will build a church for you. He got the second term. He decided to carry a chair in a V8 and to bath in it. When Ronaldo had his first term, he didn't carry a chair in a V8. When he had his second term, that was when he started that nonsense. And nobody, now, unfortunately, the people around him can't tell him that what he's doing doesn't make sense. Everybody is watching and looking on. Everybody is watching and looking because everybody, so to the point where Dr. Matthew Popu can come and say that, oh, he is comparable to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. What has Ronaldo done? What did he do? What has he done? Is you bring his achievement. Let's bring Dr. Nkrumah's achievement. Let's look at it. What did he do? What exactly did he do? Let me leave it here. Tomorrow I'll come back with Hefrra.